We are the Valenti Soundoff. I'm excited to be here. I'm Ishma with my sister Shali, and we got some things to talk about today. We do. Shali, what are we going to start with today?
On the script. So we want to talk about, for sure, the Cornhuskers lost, right?
The Cornhuskers lost. We got to talk about it.
They lost a little bit. But most importantly, a lot of people are talking about the coach, right?
Yes.
Wanting his job.
People want his job. They want the man's job.
Want his job.
Okay. Why do you think they want the man's job?
Because everybody expects greatness right off the top.
Okay.
Just like any profession would when you're paying somebody as much as you're paying Frost. Apparently that issue has came up.
You know what? A patron brought it to the attention of the public, which I'm sure a lot of people have, that this man, Scott Frost, is getting $13,600 and some odd dollars per day.
13
G's per day.
My goodness.
Right now. First thing, why are you in his pocket? No.
What you worried about what that man making?
Why are we counting this man's pocket? No, seriously. A lot of people believe, or from a standpoint, that you should only be able to make so much amount of money per year or per anything. Some people want to cap so much you can own, right? Right. They say it's not logical or ethical or whatever it is to make a bunch of money. And a lot of points, I think they have a point. But what do you think?
I mean, we think about it, and I think about, does one person really need this absurd amount of money?
Of course not. But go on.
At the end of the day, though, we always all value something at what? The value of $1. How much how much money you got in your account.
Dollar
you know
bills,
what I mean?
y'all.
And
okay.
I think at the end of the day, when it comes to it, people always want what they can have. And so Frost is over making $13,000 I didn't know that 13 is a lot of money.
So people want what they can't have, or people are mad at what they don't have, or mad at what they think somebody shouldn't have. You know, whatever. Well, I look at it like this, because there's a lot of people with a lot of money, correct?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with a lot of money. But there are also a lot of people that have a genuine rich life, right? They live life, they embody the giving, they embody the spirits of living humbly, they embody the spirits of just living and loving life in its essence, right? And so I would call those people rich. Now you have people that have a lot of money who don't do that, and you have people who have a lot of money who do those things, right? And so I guess what I'm getting to is, how much richness does a person really have that's just dependent on money, right? Is this richness just about money? Is that, to be mad at someone because they have so much money, right? Is that really fair, or should we be mad at people that have a lot of money?
Man, I don't know, right? So I was having a conversation with somebody, and that triggered me when you was talking about that, to think about it. And it was about a show on the TV. They're talking about the lottery ruined my life. And you always think, right, that a whole bunch of money is going to solve all your problems.
Yeah.
But then you figure out at the end that somebody, whatever, this happened to them, and then all of that money really didn't succumb to anything for them.
Sure.
I always think, on the other hand, now, give me the lottery. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it.
You show
I'm going to do right by it, I promise.
Well, so here's what I'm wondering then. So if you're saying that somebody is making too much money, a lot of times I agree. Now, let's say that there is a product that people need to live. For example, a lot of people, because of different situations and circumstances, they need insulin to live, or they need epinephrine, an EpiPen, for a severe allergic reaction.
Yeah, so medical.
So those things say that EpiPen that you shoot. I keep doing this because I see people shooting their arm, right? But so say that EpiPen that you shoot. Is it a thigh?
Wherever you can get it at, you have that type of reaction.
Okay, because you're the nurse.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Okay, disclosure on the health thing. Wherever you can get it at, you put it in.
Wherever you can get it at.
If you're watching it.
How you gonna do?
Okay, if you have an EpiPen, you should probably know how to use it anyway, right? But okay, so those things I heard are $600, $700,
an insane
or even
money.
more. Now, those are something that people need to live, right? And so someone making an absurd amount of money off of that, I think that's immoral. That's not ethical. That's not good. I don't think that should be allowed. But then again, it's like there I go putting a restraint or a cap on what someone can do in the free world. But man, it's pretty cruddy to be holding or dangling somebody's life over some money.
Right.
Now, on the contrary, there's someone like Scott Frost who is coaching foosball, right? He's coaching football.
We're going to get it together.
Do we need football to live?
Right.
For me, or for the 100,000 people, what is it, 90-something thousand people that 92,000 at the game, you know, for all those people that are going to fill up the Husker Stadium, buy those big luxury seats, buy those jerseys and buy all those things and create all that media buzz and all the commercial buzz, people buy advertising for it, all that stuff that creates a market for him to be paid $5 million a year and 13,000 some odd a day. We don't need that. Should he be able to capitalize off of his talents and skills as a coach in the market that has been inflated so much? Or should we be mad at him for capitalizing off of his market?
Some people just think those are just variables that just are things that happen in the run of those kind of markets, right? Because some people would say, football is my life. This gives me an outlet to my stress, or it makes me feel good. Or somebody going to the, I live and die by this, waiting for Saturdays to come. And some people actually, you know, whether
Do you
they
sleep
have,
when the Huskers lose?
I don't feel good when the Huskers lose, but you know, at the end of the day, there are things that happen that ain't just about the Huskers. But not saying that on that type of line, it is. Yeah. There are people literally who will tell you, like, right, football is their outlet, just like music is somebody's outlet, right, to go in and perform and do the things that you want to love to do. So what Scott Frost's salary is just an extended of the variables that happen with being in that type of environment.
Well, what about for people that say it's not fair? First thing, not first, only for somebody to make that absurd amount of money. Because I agree, it is an absurd amount of money, right? Amount. But is it not fair because other people maybe don't make as much, say an assistant coach, or say, you know, by the books, I've seen this a lot of times. Not only are black coaches and other minority coaches not paid as highly, but not only are they fired more, but then what I was really getting at, what I've been getting at for years, and why I take kids to HBCUs on trips and things, and have been doing that groundwork, and then I've been doing the groundwork for years, is because I also understand that when it comes to a accident that happens, or an infraction that happens, or a rule breaking that happens, that these black coaches are usually the scapegoats that are held accountable and that are kicked off the teams or booted out of the coaching carousel, as you will. And, you know, we've been, you know, working, and our family has been working with support to support these, you know, issues. So we walk the walk always, not just talk the talk. But that being said, the market that has been created, can I tell another man that he can't make his money and get paid because the market that has now been created?
Yeah.
That's tough for me. Now, is it wrong that some people aren't paid as much and all the things like, is it fair? I'm never saying is it fair, because most things about our capitalist society
are not fair, right?
Are not fair. Now, on the contrary,
decide what fair is.
Can we talk about LeBron James? LeBron James.
Can't go wrong when I'm sick.
LeBron James. LeBron James, right? So Bron, here's what happens to Bron. He gets, how much per day is that?
What, two?
Did we say he was making 100,000? I think 112,000 per day.
A day.
$112,000 per day on LeBron's $41 million contract. Is anyone worth $112 million per day, y'all?
Man.
Now, you know me, I posted the other day, you know, that Childish Gambino gift. Yeah. You know, get your money, black man, right? Yeah, we can laugh and talk about that, right? And I can post it, you know, we can all be funny online and those things. And again, I am excited for any person who is using their talents and their skills and their hard work, their blood, sweat, and tears to capitalize off of it and find a way in this world and do something positive, like bring joy to people through football, whatever it is. Now, LeBron James through basketball. Now, what else? We could say, hey, well, what else is he doing with the money? Is he helping a lot of people? Is he doing something? Is he making an impact? Well, is he?
Not only is he making an impact, but he has done things that people now are setting the trend to do, right? And that's what really comes into effect. things are going to happen years to come and not just during his standard of time. So that's what the coolest thing about watching LeBron James. So if anybody's hating on LeBron James.
So now it's like the trend to make a school and to give to a school and make your own school and give back in those ways. Now, here's my thing though. But wouldn't the government do better with that money? Wouldn't they do better for our people with that money? The government has trillions of dollars per year, and what have they done for Black people, as in those types of societal programs that are breaking the chains of institutionalized racism and things like that?
The track record alone, right?
Right. So when LeBron makes a school that's going to get kids all the way through college, going to provide other training and things for the parents, and really bring the whole holistic society together for this,
to make it a success.
Should we let LeBron use his earned money, or should we say no? Let's take his money and cap his money and let the government use it. What would you say?
So, a lot of people, I think that like once it comes into play again, it just if it's not affecting them on a certain base, that's the biggest problem. And I think that we really have to all take a good hard look at ourselves and be like, am I actually talking the talk and the walk of the presentation that I really want? So, I don't know, but LeBron James, man, he's a great athlete. He's fun to be around. And I'm super excited that we got to make sure that we give the proper dues to people that, deserve it. And in the society and the times that we are in right now, that's super important. Presentation that I really want. And a lot of things that...
I'm going live.
You just a little drop in like
I'm just dropping live.
No, but
how about those other people? So
and what Tom Brady,
let's talk about Tom Brady.
He makes 77 times more a teacher in Massachusetts.
Okay, let's get in Tom Brady's pocket. That's
like what he made, like 14 million or something crazy like that, or you know what I mean? And
so he gets into, and so he makes how much?
77 times more, they said, than an average teacher's salary in Massachusetts right now.
Now, who's more important, a teacher or Tom Brady? Let's be real.
Well, America's education system is rated one of the worst.
But really, who's better, right?
Obviously not the teachers is the problem.
A teacher is more important, right? We need teachers. We don't need what Tom Brady brings as an athlete to be an athlete. But again, people find joy from athletics. But what, as a society, have we been conditioned into appreciating and paying for?
Right.
Do we fill up stadiums to watch a teacher give a seminar?
Exactly.
Right? We don't pay crazy, and we don't have ESPN for the seminar talks and for the debates from different teachers giving their different philosophies on things, and their
different people sponsoring those teachers saying, hey, go up there and tell life lessons that are actually going to get people through their day correctly, rather than working towards something else that's going to put them in a detrimental situation.
Have you ever seen jerseys for or TV or jersey sales for a teacher?
Yeah.
Right. And so those things are sad, I think, but at the same time, let's be honest.
Another thing, doctors, what they said, Eric Reed makes 30 times more neurosurgeon a year. So all of these things come into play as, does a person really in any type of position deserve to make a certain percentage amount of money? But we all want to put a cap on something. We all want to say this isn't right, or our morals come into play in some type of way.
Sure. So we have a live comment. So Ma wants to ask, she wants to say, look, now she's a diehard Husker fan, right? A diehard Husker fan, right? Now, that being said, she's saying, look, she's a Husker fan, but a lot of people out here struggling to make ends meet, to make their house payment, to make their car payment, make rent, or anything like that, to even eat, right? And so what can we do instead of, I'm assuming you're saying, what can we do instead of paying one man $13,000 a day instead of helping some of those other societal problems that we have? What do you think about that comment? I know I kind of paraphrased it into
I feel
my
like
own.
There's a lot of different things that people can do in their community wise, whether it be just little things. Right now we have a cool thing going around in the neighborhoods, a free vegetable truck and fruit truck. Little things like that, right? That are actually going to mean that good things at the end of the day, not just here's a little pamphlet about what we think may be good for you, and you can come and visit us here and get this type of help, but not in your actual place of business or where you grow up.
So do you think that we as Nebraska, as a state of Nebraska, maybe even as a university, should say, well, we have so much money, we have all this money, instead of paying a coach $5 million a year, let's pay a coach $500,000 a year. That's still amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And give that $5 million a year, that $4.5 million a year, and spread that around to different initiatives, different nonprofits that we think will advance the community in different ways.
Sure.
Should we do that and not put our focus on a $5 million coach?
Some would say that they already give money out, right, to the communities
Sure.
and different type of charities and various different things throughout the year.
Do you believe that a $500,000 coach per year could
it's sustainable?
Well, do you think that they could compete in a way that Scott Frost is?
You give a certain person the chance to a $500,000 salary in the place of Nebraska to do the same thing he's doing. Yeah.
And could
I think somebody's going to give you
all those things.
Of course, but it's not the standard. It's not what the status quo is.
Sure.
And once it comes down to, once again, like our whole debate is about whether or not somebody deserves a certain amount of money.
Sure.
When it comes, anybody's going to take any amount of money thrown at them at the end of the day.
So let's say Beyonce, right? We love B-Day, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, right? We talked about last week. When I went and saw Beyonce and Jay-Z in Minneapolis, the on the run tour too, right? Now, point blank, like some people might say, oh, what, he's riding. I tell you what, I appreciate great art. Just like I love reading a book by James Baldwin, or just like I love reading an opinion from Thurgood Marshall, or just like I love to listen to an amazing composition by Count Basie, right? I appreciate art. And so being able to go and witness this art live is amazing. I appreciate the artists that do that. And I respect the artists that do that, especially when outside of the realm, they do other things that I respect. That being said, I was able to watch this show. My wife and we paid, I believe, north of $500 for us both to be sitting at that show.
Okay.
We were at the upper tier, first row upper tier.
Okay. But had nobody in front of you.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? We had elbow room and all that. Yeah, because I could do that, ball so hard that, so I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, I see.
Now, down at the floor level, up in the front, right? They were paying $800 a walk down there. Then you had the VIP section, we had the table, the bottle service. They was like $1,300 a walk there. So if you want a date, that's a $2,600 date. Now, they grossed something like $500 million
for the whole tour.
From that tour. I think it was 15, 16 shows. Are they not allowed to, or is that sick or gross that they can make $500 million from 13 shows? Did I have to go to that show? I drove. My wife and I rented a car. We drove. We had a hotel. It was a beautiful time.
You spent a little bit of money along the way to get there, right?
Beautiful time. Was in a great mood.
Good old month.
I think I was coming out the gas station. A couple little homies was out there playing on the bikes and whatnot. Little kids. I threw them both for 20. They was feeling like
all good.
They thought I was with Jay-Z's team or something, right? But it was great.
Right.
We had a great time. But that's what everybody did. A lot of people, they came out there. They spent their money because they loved Jay-Z and things. And then I think in Beyonce, I think she bought a sweater. It was like $60 or something.
Oh my goodness. You already know the merchandise hit.
It was dope though. The art was amazing. It was dope stuff. It looked like that Holy Grail stuff.
I would have bought it. I would have did it too. I would have did it too.
But that's the thing. So are we mad? Should they not be able to capitalize off of their talents and their hard work? They rehearsing for 12, 16, 18 hours a day. Beyonce said one time they're rehearsing for 16 hours that day. And she wasn't done.
Just to prepare for that.
And she wasn't done. And so I'm just be real. A lot of people don't know what it's like to work 16 hours a day. Now, in America, excluding those people, I'm talking about, worldwide that are working for free for 16 hours or slave laborers and things like that, right? Those people are under horrible conditions. But a lot of us, especially hipsters, and in this millennial crowd, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a millennial, right? But a lot of the millennials, they don't know what it's like to grind for 16 hours a day.
Right, straight.
Grind. I'm talking about to the point of exhaustion, mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, right? A lot of people, they're content. They do their 9 to 5, they do their 8 hours. They sit and they say, oh, what? Now I'm going to judge other people and I'm going to say this and that. I'm high and mighty because I can get a couple, I'm high and mighty because I'm vegan, right? Yeah, I'm a vegan. But they don't put in 16, 17 hours. And Beyonce, they're flying from here to there. They're jet lagged. They're tired. You don't think they're sick of seeing people and listening to people scream in their ear?
So we don't
Is that
think about
worth it?
the preparation that takes from different types of occupations.
Sure. So is it wrong? Is it wrong for her to make that type of money?
No, of course not. So if that's the type of time that she's had it taken out to do and perform that type of show for everybody to come and enjoy and give their hard-earned dollars and a lot of dollars to watch.
Now here's what's tough, bro. So what about the heart surgeon that saves the little baby's life?
Right.
That spent 17 hours in surgery, and then all the nurses and everybody that's around, they did that too.
Mm-hmm.
They were there, all there.
Dots of it.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Of course.
But they didn't get
working 16 hours, right?
Yeah, they didn't get 500 million
plus.
But they didn't gross 500 million from their show.
So that's what, as
like,
a society,
I think that's what
we
people
accept, right?
Well, that's what people I think are having a problem
that?
with. No, I think that's what people, and the whole argument is that people are saying that we have to do something to where these famous people aren't getting all of this money, where we have these other people, firemen and doctors that aren't just pumping people full of prescriptions,
drugs and all this other,
and
saying,
injections that have side effects and things. Yeah, but people that are truly
like
helping,
who are in their
that are really saving
right?
lives every day, right? They're not getting that, and it's not fair. Correct?
But all throughout history, we've always said though, right, that the system is wrong, and that we don't pay this person enough, and we pay these athletes an absurd amount. And people were saying that back in the 80s, right? That a basketball player makes this amount of money, but a teacher makes this. Nothing has changed over the last 40, 50 years. We're still having the same type of conversation.
You're right.
When is enough?
You're right. We've continued this. So we got another comment, and then cuz Mike, what's up, cousin Mike. So you're saying that he's saying that at the end of the day you have to think about Frost and his time away from the family, and he thinks that compensation accounts for that as well. To whereas Frost might be in the I'm assuming you're saying Frost might be in the video room for X amount of days, X amount of hours, and missing dinners, missing first steps, and things like that, right?
Special events that
all those things every Saturday where he has to be, right? Every Friday night where he has to be, time away from his wife,
right? And
things like that. Now here's the other thing: is that what everybody sacrifices for an extended job or a job? If you don't just have that 8 to 5, don't a lot of people, they're missing games, but they're still not getting that gap.
It's always somebody else's life is more important than mine, or what is my issue? My problem is what I'm going through right now, man. Somebody couldn't imagine what I'm going through today. And then you think about that when I heard somebody talking about how somebody rushed past them in traffic and they were just having a terrible time. They was just honking at them, just being outrageous and things like that.
Yeah.
And then she said she stopped and thought about it, and it was like, what if this person has just found out that a loved one just passed away, that their wife just went into labor, that something life event has happened to them?
So we have to think about everybody's situation, and
we say that, but we don't do that.
But we don't. But we don't do that. You're so right.
That's what's important.
You're so right.
To think about.
Real quick, I want to mention the Valenti Soundoff only on channel 724. Make for sure.
You gotta check it out.
You have to subscribe. Subscribe right now if you're watching 724. Subscribe. Be a subscriber. Keep watching us. We're gonna be on every week, every Tuesday. We're gonna be going live. Now, getting back to this money issue.
Money, dollar bills, y'all. It's all about the cream.
Cream? Yeah, what you know about
Wu-Tang?
Okay, so when we get back to this, we really want to think, is it right, is it moral for somebody to make their amount of money? Am I in a position to say that? I don't know what that man does.
Who is in a position to say
I don't know. Does the state deserve all the money? We've seen when the state gets all the money, what happens in many situations. I can't think of a really good example where the state controlled all the money and property and things were fair.
Right, and did what should happen.
Right? It was always like an elitist type thing. And so and I'm the first to tell you. I'm the first to tell you. I think free colleges, I think free healthcare, I think all those things, right? I'm Medicare for all. I think it should be, nobody should see a doctor's bill. I think, we should have babies, and just like in some parts of Europe, the only thing you go to the accountant for is for your bus fare to get back, and they're going to pay your bus fare to get home, right? I think we should have, a year off from maternity leave, and all those
common sense things.
All those things. But it's tough for me to say the state should own all the money because of the state that we've seen and the things we've seen happen when we give complete control to the state. What has good come of that when we have complete control of the state, when we have all sorts of limits? Now, let's say like back in the day, there was a 90%, was it 80 to 90%, I'm pretty sure, tax rate on when Muhammad Ali was getting his money.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So if he's making $1 million, he's really making 100,000. Who is that really helping when it came to what was the state doing with the money?
Right, sure.
You know, what
And
was that
know
federal
it wasn't
government?
benefiting the likes of
What was
Muhammad
the
Ali
federal
and his people.
What was the federal government doing with the money other than trying to make operatives and operations to break down Malcolm X or Martin Luther King Jr.
Any
or the
prominent
Nation of
leader back
Islam, which Muhammad Ali was a part of. So they were taking his money to go against him. And that's another thing that I think we have to think of everybody's perspective. They say, oh, well, he should be willing to give his money to the state. Well, it's tough to be willing to give your money to an institution that has not worked in your benefit for so long. And so that whole big scope, I think, is really tough. Because I used to be like that. I used to be like, oh, man, how come people just don't give more in taxes or just want to give more money? Well, it's tough because what has happened when you give that
We've
control?
seen this happen before, and obviously they've done nothing good with it. Or
And I don't want to say nothing, but
obviously nothing that
was
was any type of thing that was substantial to the people, because if it would have been, then it would be something that we would hope would be still in place, right?
well, because a lot of people would say, you know, they would say, well, what about voting rights and civil rights laws? But then you say, hey, people marched and fought and got beaten by dogs and sprayed by things, you know.
So vice versa. There's always
so there's different ways. Now, I know we went off into a whole bunch.
Yeah, a whole bunch. But that's what's good about it.
That's
Like,
what
no,
it's
that's what the
about. That's
Soundoff
what the
is
Soundoff is
about.
about.
You know, we're
Bring
going to
it
sound
in.
about a whole bunch
We're
of
going
red
to bring it
things.
out. So the Huskers lost.
They lost. It was a bad loss too. It wasn't. That's something that Frost took credit for. But you up 17-0.
Took credit for that money loss.
Halftime. Yeah, I would take credit too about making $13,000. But you know me, if anybody, I love my Huskers. I'm a diehard Husker fan. But I do feel like there ain't something's going on. So, they better put on and show up.
Well, I'll tell you this: we appreciate comments and we appreciate feedback.
We love the comments.
Even it's Valenti Soundoff, so we would appreciate seeing family on there too. That's what it's about. Now, not only they lost, whatever, but I did see your boy. What was his name? Muhammad Berry.
Yeah, Berry. Yeah, Berry? He came through talking.
He said, "Ain't nobody gonna remember Colorado
when we win the Big Ten
championship."
That's the kind of stuff that I like to hear. You already know.
You like that.
That's what I like to hear. I like to hear some type of, I just like to hear somebody get mad and get angry, but I don't want to hear no pitter patter Mike Riley like, you know, I thought we did all right out there. No.
It's time to get angry.
I want to hear that you don't like what happened so that you're going to come out and correct it, because you know, you all the hype and it's definitely the team that you going against. You should be putting up that type of performance. But Barry, though, I don't know. I like the way he's talking, so hopefully he comes out and shows that type of discretion on the field.
Well, I'll tell you like this. I am super glad that I didn't bet on the Huskers. That being said,
I even texted you too at halftime. I think he told you like you should have bet on them Skurs.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Not so fast, my friend.
That's why right there we lost.
So
Lee
fast,
Corso and Hershey picked them.
That's okay. What, picked the Huskers?
Yes. That's why. That's why. That's the jinx. Okay.
So guess who I picked on the money line? Army. Had Army
what
on the money line.
What a game that was.
On the money line. And Army
came through.
I'm glad they didn't win.
Really?
No, I want them to win. But just because, you know how it goes when you have a parlay. And if that team hits, that was the biggest team. And I'm telling you, you know me, I'm not a big stakes gambler. I'm talking about a $5. It's a $5 wager for a $1,700 payout. It's Army. I had West Virginia and...
I don't know why I had West Virginia too. I don't know what I was thinking. Because Missouri put up that type of fight on the first game. So I was thinking like, well, Brian ain't going to do nothing.
I tell you what, it was tough. But that Army game was great to see.
It was a fun
Option
game.
Football can still work.
That's what I'm saying.
Scott Frost.
That's what I want to see.
Scott Frost, if you're watching.
What?
If you're watching, give me a wishbone.
You got Martinez, Washington back there?
Just give me some option football. You have 5 things you can do in one play. You know how
It'd
it
be
goes.
beautiful. Come on now, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was the master at the options.
Yeah,
So
ain't no question.
give us the option, and you'll turn Ishmael Valenti back into a Husker fan. Okay, if you want to
Look
convert
at all
me,
that. Just
wanna
do what's
convert me-
best for them Spurs. We don't care what he talking about. Go on, show us the option. We want to see
No,
that.
convert me back.
I'm trying to
Get
see
a
them
fan.
back to them days of like,
Get a
with the
fan.
200 plus rushing yards
I'll buy a
from
booth.
running back.
I'll buy a booth. I'm just playing. I ain't
Woo,
got
I'm with that. Let's go over there. Check
Get a
that.
little booth.
Yeah.
Once you sat up in the box,
Now there ain't nothing like it.
it's not in a suite. You won't. Yeah,
The
you
sweet
can't-
life is sweet.
Yeah,
baby.
you can't be bumping shoulders.
That's how you
anymore
gotta
out
hear
there in
people.
the
The
tunnels.
sweet life is sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
So Valenti Soundoff, we had some fun tonight. Is
We
there
had a
something else
great
we had to sound off about? See, Shaw, you was mad at me earlier
Man,
too. We was mad before we got
sound
here. You
off
was
a
mad
couple
at me.
different things.
You're
You know, that's what
mad
happens
at
though when you ready to come on and
I'm
give your
mad.
very best
Yes.
to the people.
Yes.
What you expect?
You're right. So look, you can expect us Tuesday, 8:30, right on 724. If you didn't subscribe,
that like
do that
button.
now. Do that now.
Comment.
Valenti
Tell us what you want to
Soundoff.
hear.
All that stuff, right? You can even call in. We'll give you the number one day.
Listen, we down for anything on this show. That's how it goes.
We got y'all. So holler at us again. And for now on,
Sounding off.
peace. Bang, bang.
Right. That was pretty good than that one.
I like
I like
that.